Stick around. Up next, a Clay Aiken exclusive.
I don't have any privacy.
Intimate secrets you didn't hear on tonight's primetime. Also a warning about a new type of home invader, and your house may be their next target. See how to protect yourself.
Channel 13 Action News is next.
Searching for a car? Well, you don't have to look far because Tobin Infiniti has the right car for you.
And with 1.9% financing and no payments until 2004, there won't be a better time to get into a new Infiniti. Just $399 a month on the new Infiniti FX, only $299 a month on a new I-35 sedan or the G35, Motor Trend's Car of the Year. And now just $499 a month on a new M45.
Tobin Infiniti. Quality cars, service, and selection priced right.
You are looking live at what could be the next target for home invaders in Las Vegas, a typical neighborhood where violent thieves could strike at any time. They are home invaders, and you'd be surprised at how they are approaching their victims. How confident do you feel going outside tonight to take out the garbage or let the dog out? Good evening, everybody. I'm Tricia Kean, in for Ross Becker.
And I'm Cathy Ray. A couple of Valley homeowners thought nothing of it until they became targets of armed home invaders. It's our top story. Action News reporter Andy Rojan joins us from one neighborhood that got hit this morning. It's right near Fort Apache and Spring Mountain. Andy.
Cathy, these home invaders are not opening windows or busting down doors. They're just jumping homeowners when they step outside for a moment. A crime of opportunity, police call it, a gutsy crime. But sometimes the victims are gutsy, too.
And so the guy grabs a gun up again and puts it in my face, and he pulls back the hammer, and he says, I am going to blow you away. And he started counting down, whatever.
Coetta Carter's son was busy changing the locks on the home tonight, considering that he was the victim of an unrelated home invasion and robbery just 2 nights earlier. Coetta is in a very feisty mood now.
I'm not going to let some little idiot see me scream and cry and beg for mercy when I know they're going to shoot me anyway. No. I had always been trained that you make as much noise as you can and you stay out in the open.
But even though the suspects managed to pull Coetta back inside the house, police say she also did the right thing with the woman who she was caring for last night.
When they knocked her down, I told her to stay laying down because I wanted them to think that she was not a threat to them.
Metro says it's getting a lot tougher on home invaders.
We're going to decrease robberies in 2003 over 2002.
In fact, police arrested one of the suspects today, and Coetta can't wait to go down to the jail and make the identification.
I don't want to be in a room behind a window. I want to go in where this little boy is that thinks he's so bad to beat up 2 senior citizens.
Now, police say they've been working so hard to track down these home invaders that if you were driving a red vehicle today, police were probably checking you out. That's because they knew the suspect was driving a red car today, and that's how they were able to make that arrest of that one suspect this afternoon. Now, the number of home invasions in 2003 is exactly the same number that we had at this time last year, which police say is a really good thing considering how much we've been growing in population. Reporting live from Spring Mountain and Fort Apache, Andy Rosen, Channel 13 Action News.
A mother accused of beating her children to death with a baseball bat is going to a mental facility for evaluation. A judge recommended today that Sylvia Ewing undergo a complete mental evaluation. Sylvia was recently released from the hospital after she tried to commit suicide. Ewing will stay at the Lakes Crossing facility in Sparks until doctors say she can help with her own defense. Testimony will continue next week in the murder trial of a 9-year-old girl caught in the middle of gang violence gunfire. Pasquale Lozano is one of the 4 suspects arrested in the shooting in September of last year. Today, crime scene experts testified about the shots and how the kids had to run for cover. Local strip club owner Michael Gallardi is putting his Jaguars and Leopard Lounge clubs up for sale. Gallardi has pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud in connection with a political corruption probe involving local and San Diego politicians and strip clubs. He's now cooperating with the FBI. The city of Las Vegas and Clark County are considering revoking his license to run his local strip clubs.
New tonight, one of the FBI's top counterterrorism officials is leaving Washington, D.C. and he's taking a top security job right here in Las Vegas. Sources tell Action News Larry Mefford will be part of the security team for Wynn Resorts. Mefford is a 24-year veteran of the FBI. And now to the latest on Roy Horn, who continues to make progress in the hospital following that tiger attack. Horn is in critical but stable condition right now. The tiger who attacked Horn, Montecor, is in a sanctuary. The show is closed indefinitely. 260 employees have been told to look for other jobs. Siegfried Fischbacher talked to Action News today, and he says even though he is by Roy's side all of the time, the people of Las Vegas are also there in spirit.
When I left him in the hospital, he gave me the peace and the love sign. And that's what he wanted me to refer to the people of Las Vegas.
Coming up later on in this broadcast, Action News reporter Veronica Sanchez gives us an exclusive look inside Siegfried and Roy's secret garden since that incident last Friday night. Harsh testimony today from a detective in the Kobe Bryant rape case. It came as part of a preliminary hearing to determine if there's enough evidence to go to trial. Action News reporter Scott Burton has the latest.
Kobe Bryant was stoic and noticeably thinner than in the past. He sat quietly in court today, watching as the lead investigator in the case against him recounted the night that changed Bryant's life.
Kobe, how are you feeling?
Kobe Bryant returned to Eagle, Colorado today for another round in the courtroom. Cameras were barred as Detective Doug Winters discussed the case. He told the court Bryant's accuser claimed the Lakers star attacked her from behind, grabbing her neck, pulling up her skirt, and asking her not to tell anyone about the incident. To many, the preliminary hearing came as a surprise. Most experts expected the Bryant defense team to waive the hearing and keep the evidence of the case under wraps. ABC legal analyst Ellen Davis says proceeding allowed the defense to challenge the investigation and the accuser.
The reason for not waiving it would be because they would have an opportunity to, on cross-examination, ask him questions that might undermine the credibility of the alleged victim.
No decision's been made on the results of the hearing. 2 local judges are on notice to preside over a possible arraignment. That would spare Bryant from having to come back to Eagle again in the next 30 days. Kobe Bryant has the right to go to trial within 6 months, but he could agree to push that back until later, perhaps after the NBA season ends early next summer. Scott Burton, Channel 13, Action News.
Arnold Schwarzenegger says he has the people in place to help him lead California out of debt. The newly elected governor did not waste any time getting his transition team in place. Liberals, conservatives, a movie director are all part of the team faced with a tough job ahead. Schwarzenegger has to come up with a balanced budget by the end of the year.
I'm very adamant about it that one of the first things that we have to do is to audit, open up the books, and let the people look inside. Let the sun shine in. This is what we want to do here. And there's, I think there's a lot of waste that we will find and a lot of answers that we will find when we open up the books.
The 9 men looking to take President Bush's job in the White House talk politics tonight in Phoenix. A group of voters put the Democratic presidential hopefuls in the hot seat with questions ranging from North Korea, Iran, unions, and small businesses who are struggling to make it.
A big rig and 8 cars ended up in one giant piece of twisted metal just outside of Los Angeles today. 6 people were killed in the early morning accident on Interstate 710. CHP says it all started when a tractor trailer veered into another car, setting off that collision. The man behind the wheel of that big rig had been driving for 20 years. Back here at home, 10 cars were involved in a pile-up along the I-15 near Sahara this morning. Now, this also backed up traffic on US 95 for the morning commute. Nobody was killed, but 4 people were treated for minor injuries at the hospital. And new tonight, plans are in place for the Thunderbirds to lead the 50th anniversary at the aviation show at Nellis in November. In fact, the team will be back over the skies of southern Nevada next month. The Thunderbirds are performing this weekend in Arkansas. Now, this is the first time since a near-fatal crash in Idaho just last month.
Well, coming up next, we go inside a world where beast and man live together in peace.
A place where an attack is the farthest thing from anyone's mind.
I'm Veronica Sanchez. We are live at the Mirage with Siegfried and Roy's Secret Garden. That is coming up.
Remember this image? A symbol of freedom from a ruthless dictator. That was 6 months ago in Iraq. A reality check of how things are going today.
You know, sometimes I just want to get up and sing in the shower. I can't do that.
You can't sing in the shower?
Well, in a hotel. You don't want to wait for that.
American Idol star Clay Aiken on losing one of the most personal things a person can have. More in this exclusive interview next.
I know what we can blame the delay in the cooling trend. It's almost a full moon in just about an hour and a half and almost a record high temperature today. A look at your weekend and more ahead in Action Weather.
This is Channel 13 Action News with Cathy Ray, Wasbecker, Contact 13 with Tricia Kean, and the Channel 13 Action News Audience.
Well, they are Roy's pride and joy, his white tigers and lions, and even though one is in quarantine for critically biting his handler, Siegfried and Roy's animal sanctuary is still thriving. Action News reporter Veronica Sanchez is live right now at the Mirage with an exclusive look at this rare habitat. Veronica.
Well, Tricia, outside the Mirage here, flowers are still being dropped off for Roy, so are balloons and cards. But inside the resort lies the secret garden. It is where all the big cats roam. They are adorable, hard-to-resist cats. On this late afternoon, the camera catches some of them napping. Others are awake, living behind the fence that separates man and beast. And they are, despite their appearances, very wild.
An 800-pound striped white tiger, bam, one shake and it's over.
For the first time since the attack, Siegfried and Roy manager Bernie Human gives us a tour of the secret garden, a habitat the two performers built to keep dozens of endangered cats safe.
There's no force here. There's no whips, there's no chains, there's no chairs.
Just a lot of love and care, says Human. But even as we take in the calm, grassy setting, there's a feeling that danger is around the corner. Montecore, the white tiger that bit Roy on stage, is here under quarantine.
Montecore is with his family. He's in a great area where he's safe and he's sound.
And he won't be harmed, says Human. That's how Roy wants it.
You know, Roy's a tiger. He knows how they think. He knows how their mind works.
And like a tiger, Roy knows about survival. That's what the secret garden is all about. The survival of an endangered species. Something Roy says he wants to live for.
What exists here is that you can move mountains with love.
Some wild animal experts say the attack on Roy was no accident, just a tiger gone bad. But Human disputes that claim and says his clients will continue to keep the secret garden open. We're live at the Mirage. Veronica Sanchez, Channel 13 Action News.
Well, the next time you count your money, take a closer look. The 20s got a makeover, so counterfeiters will have a tougher time doing their job. The government rolled out the brand new $20 bill today. Take a look. It's there you go. Look closely. It's a little bit more peachy, a little yellowy. The first bill in Las Vegas was here at the M&M World on the Strip. While it may look good, the government says a new security thread will help them better track phony money.
In America tonight, we start in Philadelphia. One of the greatest symbols of our independence, the Liberty Bell, is in a new place tonight. The Liberty Bell Center is now home to the Cracked Bell. It's part of a multi-million-dollar transformation of Independence Mall. Now to Cleveland, a Franciscan brother admits to shooting a Catholic priest and setting a church on fire. Daniel Montgomery was in court today where he pleaded guilty in the death of Reverend William Goulas last December.
In New Jersey tonight, 2 men are under arrest suspected of abducting the wife of New Hampshire Senator Judd Gregg from their home in Virginia. Police caught the men following a car chase in New Jersey. Cathy Gregg says the men threatened her life at knife point and forced her to take money from the ATM. And take a look at these pictures out of Florida. Truly a nightmare there. A woman spent the night in her car, upside down in a swamp, water all around her. The driver is doing okay. Police say it's hard to believe her injuries are only minor, just a few cuts on her feet.
Well, 6 months ago today, history was made in Baghdad. The city symbolically fell from the hands of Saddam Hussein. This picture tells the story the best. The Iraqis pulling down the statue of the dictator. At that time, there were no policemen on duty, and chaos was everywhere. U.S. officials say that is just one sign of progress, but there are still problems. And breaking news out of Iraq tonight, a sign right now that there are a lot of conflicts still out there. The U.S. military says 2 American soldiers have been killed and 4 were hurt in an ambush in Baghdad. The military says it happened near a fatal car bombing at an Iraqi police station. Well, 9 people were killed in that attack. A suicide bomber drove his car into a police compound and blew it up. A Spanish diplomat was also shot after 4 men lured him out of his house. Once again, the government acknowledges the problems facing Iraq, but still maintains progress is being made. And new tonight, Time magazine is reporting Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat has stomach cancer. This is video of Arafat with his doctor this week, who gave him a clean bill of health. Officials say he had been suffering from the flu, but now sources inside his compound say it is much worse.
A health alert tonight that gives women with breast cancer some new hope. Researchers in Toronto introduced this drug, letrozole, to protect women after they take tamoxifen treatment. Doctors say it stops the cancer from reappearing because it reduces the levels of estrogen in the body that fuel the cancer's metastasis. New tonight, live at 11. The guessing game is on as to who will win this year's Nobel Peace Prize. The announcement comes tomorrow, and among the favorites, Pope John Paul II. The Pope was an outspoken critic against the war with Iraq and also for an end to the Israeli-Palestinian fighting. He's calling for that. Other nominees include U2 singer and social activist Bono and pop singer Michael Jackson.
Well, you heard him first on Primetime Thursday. American Idol star Clay Aiken, he was the runner-up in the hit TV show. Aiken tells ABC's Diane Sawyer he has paid a big price for fame.
You never lost a love?
I never lost a love, but I have lost a few things as a result of this experience. You know, I don't have any privacy anymore, and I don't have control of my life in some ways. So there are other ways to draw angst and depression, you know, for a song. So I've had to learn, you know, how to pull that emotion from somewhere else.
How wonderful to be able to say, I have to get a crash course in angst and depression. Quick, quick, do you know anybody who does it? Berlitz.
No, well, you know, it was a crash course. I was in New York a few weeks ago, and I woke up, and it took me a minute or two to realize where I was. I didn't even know where I was because we had been moving so much. I was on tour. And all of a sudden, I woke up not knowing where I was and then realizing I can't get up and go drive around. I can't get up and walk down the street. I'd have to wake up Jerome, the security guy who works with me, and have him walk with me down the street. Or even if I did, it wouldn't be private. You know, he'd be walking beside me and I couldn't, you know, sometimes I just want to get up and sing in the shower. I can't do that.
You can't sing in the shower?
Well, in a hotel. You don't want to wake people up.
That was Clay Aiken with Diane Sawyer, and Cathy tells me he has a CD coming out. Nate?
Now, Nate Tannenbaum with Channel 13 Action Weather.
Well, I can sing in the shower, but I don't want to upset my wife and son. And we got a little bit of a jittery thing going on here as our mountain cam is looking down on the city, but that's because we are zoomed way in. Mountain cam is on Mount Potosi, way southwest of town, looking down at the beautiful lights of the city here at 11 o'clock. Yeah, the moon is almost full. We've got 83 degrees now. At this time last night, it was 77, so the heat is sticking around a little longer tonight. Humidity is at 20%, south breeze at 8. The barometer rising right now to 9.68. And if you want a cooling trend, we've got one for you. Yeah. This is up in Mount Hood, Oregon. Winter has arrived a little bit early, and the old pooch there is wondering what's going on. And it is going to be great news for the ski areas up there. They're saying that the snow they had today was just right for sticking to the ground and making an early base for the ski areas up that way. So congratulations to the folks up in Mount Hood, Oregon, enjoying a wee bit of the white stuff today. Now for us, well, you know what? We were 1 degree away from the record high for today of 97, stopping at 96 this afternoon. Low this morning, 65. Not exactly sure they're going to be that cool tomorrow morning because it's, like I said, warmer at this hour than it was 24 hours ago. But here's what's going on out there. We're watching for a couple of things that are holding off on our cooling trend. These clouds down here are going to move up to the north, and there's a chance for rain now as far south as perhaps Lake Havasu. Once all that stuff gets pushed out, these cooler clouds here will be moving on in, but again, that may not be for another week or so. So the moon is full about 12:30 in the morning, just about an hour or so from now. We think the morning low will be in the mid-60s, and then some clouds stopping by tomorrow. Still plenty of sunshine, but I don't think it's going to be quite as warm tomorrow as it was today. We'll say 90, perhaps the lower 90s, south breezes to 10. Now, the rest of the weekend, Columbus Day, the official observance is Monday. And again, some cloudiness around here over the weekend. Chances for rain, though, we think will stay to the south. A slow cooling trend, maybe the low 80s by a week from today.
We are so lucky to be living here in Las Vegas, southern Nevada.
Yes.
I don't miss that snow.
Well, you know, we'll show you pictures now and then.
Thank you. That's
as close as we want.
For the holidays, it's fine. All right.
Thanks,
Thank you. Well, still to come on Action News Live at 11, big money and then big headaches.
That's right. Find out how a piece of expensive furniture wasn't complete until the Contact 13 problem solvers got involved fighting a Valley woman's battle. That's still ahead on Action News.
Now, Tricia Kean and the Contact 13 problem solvers.
Imagine buying something you've been saving up for just to find out there's something wrong with it. Once you get it, it happened to a Valley woman, and when she tried to get the problem fixed, she just got the runaround until she contacted 13.
Okay, here's my curio cabinet, and this is the finished product.
Finished after Sheila Dean spent 3 months just trying to get the right shelf for her curio cabinet to complete her room.
This shelf right here, the second shelf.
That little shelf caused Sheila big problems. When the cabinet was delivered, the shelf wouldn't fit in properly, so a new shelf had to be ordered.
The total purchase was $1,028.51.
But after spending a lot of money for a piece of furniture, Sheila got mad after waiting for weeks with no word from the furniture store about her shelf.
I was just basically getting the runaround because they were telling me it's on order, you know, it will be there and this, that, and the other, but none of that ever transpired.
That was until Sheila got a hold of Contact 13 problem solver Erdine. It wasn't long after Sheila spoke to Erdine that she got a call from the furniture store telling her the shelf was in. Sheila says if it wasn't for Contact 13,
I'd probably still be waiting for my shelf.
Well, she's right about that. So here's the Contact 13 bottom line. We're glad that we helped Sheila. We'd like to help you, too. If you have a consumer problem, Contact 13. Our problem solvers are here Monday through Friday from 11 to 1. The hotline number, 368-2255. Again, that's 368-2255.
Oh, with the field cool off at the Las Vegas Invitational, we're going to take a look at the leaderboard after 2 rounds.
That's right. And could the Rams of Colorado State finally pick up a win at BYU? The highlights are coming up in Action Sports.
Into the end zone. Touchdown.
Now, Dennis Evans with Channel 13 Action Sports.
Round 2 of the Las Vegas Invitational turned into another birdie fest. 40 players, how about this? Double digits under par. And here's a look at the leaderboard. Scott Verplank and Steve Flesch tied at 17 under. Heron and Howell 2 strokes back. And Henderson native and former UNLV golfer Craig Barlow is 3 strokes off of the lead. And the National League Championship Series took the day off before resuming play in Florida. Tonight, it was Game 2 of the American League Championship Series. That's up in the Bronx. The Yankees dropped Game 1, making sure that didn't happen again. Not taking any chances. Bottom of the second, and Nick Johnson only blasts a 2-run homer. This one was all Yankees. They tie that series now at 1 game apiece. And 5 games into the season, the Rebel football team, well, they've only lost 1 game. Try and take credit for predicting that one. The Rebels' fast start, and it's come as a bit of a surprise. The bandwagon been a little bit slow to fill up, but that should change as the Rebels roll into their conference schedule. UNLV opens up Mountain West play on Saturday at Air Force. Kickoff this afternoon, and Air Force is favored by about 3 points. In Mountain West football tonight, a blowout at BYU. Colorado State and Bradley Van Pelt just lit up the Cougars 43-13. That was at halftime. It only got worse as the game went on. The homecoming crowd just booed the Cougars on their own home field. They give up a home record of 58 points. They fall to 3-4 on the season. Nasty, wasn't it? The final, 58-13. And I mean, they got blown
They
out.
did.
They're having an off year this year, but I mean, that's good for the Rebels, though.
Right.
All right, guys.
It happens.
Thanks, Dennis.
Thanks, Dennis.
Well, we have a ways to go before Halloween, but it's not too early to get those cannons ready.
Now stay clear of these machines. Oh yeah, watermelons and pumpkins coming out of the other end. There are bragging rights to go along with this game. Details straight ahead.
2, 1.
Closed captioning of Channel 13 Action News brought to you by a Clean Sweep, your office cleaning specialists. Call 362-1930 today.
And we leave you tonight with our picture of the night, the Punkin' Chunkin' World Championship. Good night, everybody.